What's the bomb? So growth is over, I think. Maybe that's why they haven't figured out a new music to invent, because maybe there are no more musics to invent. You know, the universe is finite. There's only a certain amount of notes you can play. There's only a certain amount of octaves. There's only a certain amount of stories. So maybe we're at that point where it's not really, it's more about your individuality, maybe more about your delivery or something. I don't know, but I know growth is over because there's nowhere to go. It can't get more comfortable than this. We control the temperature. You can eat raw fish like a Scandinavian prince on a bus driver's salary. You're walking around with a computer. I mean, like I was saying before, how much better can this get? You're going to put this in my eyeball? I mean, what's the difference, dog? I just, I like that I can like choose to look at the internet or not. I don't want to have the internet in my eyeball, okay? Unless you can like put like sex in there and it's not cheating. If you can do that, you ever notice that's like the number one selling thing always? Internet's the most amazing information innovation known to man, and the number one thing people use it for is to fucking jerk off. Just shows we're animals. We are animals. No matter how high we climb, we're still animals, and you can see that in all the strife in the world. It's crazy to think how much we have evolved with technology and science, and then there's people on the internet who benefit from technology and science every single day, just screaming at scientists and tech people. The people who have given them this comfort, they're just going, you greedy bitch. It's like, dude, do you understand? If they weren't greedy, they wouldn't have come up with this shit. I mean, don't be a hater. Jeff Bezos wants to live forever. Why not? He wants to be a vampire. Why not? A lot of this stuff just comes from jealousy, right? And that's why capitalism may end up not being the system that works, because it creates so much inequality. Because here's the thing people don't want to admit, is a lot of the reason why capitalism creates so much inequality isn't because it's an evil system, okay? It's because the difference between a smart person and a dumb person is so vast. And capitalism allows for those smart people to flourish, which makes the gap even bigger. That's why you hate Jeff Bezos so much. Because you could never do what he did. You could never do what he did. And America, the first and only and most pure system that allows you to become filthy fucking evil rich, facilitates that. That's the part you little bitchy socialists don't want to admit, is that it just exposes how less than ordinary you are, because it allows the brilliant people to thrive. So what happened? Revenge of the nerds. But they weren't nerds, because revenge of the mediocre happened, where people said, fuck that. And they started pressuring and complaining their way into getting specials and TV shows and attention and jobs. And the people who are great are scared, going, oh God, you just pay them off so they don't kill me. I don't want my head chopped off. But that was their first mistake, because I bet you the aristocracy in France said the same thing. Just give them a little bit more. Not saying that companies hiding all their money overseas is a good thing. Not saying them avoiding paying their share taxes is a good thing either. And if you get your heads cut off, I guess the last thing you're going to think is, damn, I should not have set up that shell company in the Cayman Islands. Was it worth an extra $3 billion? Was it worth the extra $3 billion that I could have redistributed into society and given for longevity? If we don't start focusing on longevity at all and balance, we're fucked. Capitalism made us grow and has given us great innovation. But now we need something new, baby. And I'm not talking about Andrew Yang free money, okay? And I'm not talking about Ethereum. We have to trade Jason Momoa's hair. And I hate to say it, because she's just so beautiful and pure. What's her name? The pop singer from Pennsylvania, the tall one? Taylor Swift's pussy juice. Okay? Think about money based on natural resources. Jason Momoa can grow an infinite amount of hair. So we just have him continue to grow. You know, we give him like whatever science thing keeps his hair growing. We chop it up, okay? Then they melt it down, and you own 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 strands of Momoa. And then to make it equal also, you got to turn her on. So we got to put Jason Momoa and Taylor Swift in their own sort of, we got to sacrifice them, okay? It's like every great civilization knew that somebody had to be sacrificed. You look back at the Incans, they fucking took some disabled kid, they walked them up to the top of the temple. That's why they had those temples, to watch the sacrificed human just roll down the stairs. The Spartans would throw them off cliffs. You take Taylor Swift, you hook and pull, and you milk her. You milk her of that precious resource that has value. The Chinese drink it because they think that it gives them potency. It replaces rhino horn, saves the rhinos. They're no longer extinct. And Japanese believe in that superstition shit because they're godless people. Did I say Japanese? I meant Chinese. I got my Asians mixed up. Apologies. The Chinese stop drinking rhino horns, so they stop cutting off rhino horns, and they just start, instead of just a little espresso shot of Taylor Swift's pussy juices, also Joe Rogan starts touting it as a cure for COVID, but it has to be taken in tandem with zinc. Am I purporting to you now that Jason Momoa's hair, locks, and Taylor Swift's should be the new basis for our monetary system? You're goddamn right I am. And I'll tell you what, at least those are 2 real things. I can taste Taylor Swift's justice. I can touch Jason Momoa's beautiful fucking wavy hair. Those are things that I can have a tactile experience with. Okay? So listen, you Gen X and millennial losers who are basing your money on something that's invisible, that just lives in an invisible place. I created something called currency based on Taylor Swift's pussy juice standard. Okay, we replaced the gold standard with pussy juice standard. And we sacrificed Taylor Swift. We won't miss her music. And then, of course, we clone her. We keep cloning her to get that precious, fumeless, Scandinavian, Pennsylvania-made, homegrown Yingling pussy juice from her holy pastas.
Yannis Pappas.